ของชีวิตเลยแม้แต่น้อยเขายังคงดิ้นรน
So today I want to talk about a topic that has become very controversial and polarizing: the growing hate directed at India online. Now, if you spend any time on social media, you've probably seen many harsh comments about everything from street food hygiene to public behavior. And while some of these criticisms are based on real issues, they often give a one-sided view of, the Indian mentality. So in this video, I want to explore the reasons behind these perceptions and why they're often discussed in a negative way. Now, to me, that's very important because the blood of the Indian people runs through my veins. And that's why I'll give my opinion on why things are the way they are. Now, in my opinion, everything starts with the colonial legacy from the British in India. The lasting effects of colonialism cannot be ignored, honestly, because the British rule created a societal problem and left many in a system of inequality, and that still affects them today. Obviously, the caste system already existed, but it was really the British that really enforced it to, divide the people so they can gain more control, and it's easier for them to colonize the country. Many Indians have inherited a mindset that focuses more on survival because of that. And, social responsibility doesn't play a big role if you're looking for survival. And, this is clear how people view hygiene as well, or public behavior. Many feel that they have more important issues to deal with, in their daily life than cleanliness or all of that. And that is leading to a reluctance to change old habits. Now, the thing that got the most uproar is hygiene and street food. Criticism of hygiene and street food is common on social media, but it's true. I once ordered pakora, right? And to my surprise, bro, the vendor took a bite from one of them before putting it with the others, and he gave it to me. Like, only in India, bro. And this shows a larger problem, as I've also noticed that the people, they spit everywhere. Even in clean areas, they have to put on signs where it says, like, please don't spit. And, while rapid urban growth and poor infrastructure, they do contribute to this. But there's also a sense of acceptance among the people. Street food is a key of Indian culture, right? And, it's a part of Indian culture. And many see it as normal. Despite health risks, this comfort with the way things are can lead to lack of, betterness or trying to improve things and hygiene standards because of that. It feels like the street food is a vital part of the culture for them. So, still very nice street food, but the standards, man, so low. So right when I was talking about that, this guy right here, he just came here and he put this trash, he just put it here, he threw it into the water. And I mean, that goes pretty well with what I was talking about. The other thing is public behavior. The disorderly scenes of people not waiting in line or pushing in public often lead to ridicule online. And even me, when I try to buy a train ticket or visit a store, for services like getting my SIM card for India, I always find myself in a situation where no one waits their turn. Instead, everyone fights to be next, showing a lack of respect for others, even for elderly. Now, this behavior is shaped by overcrowding and limited resources, leading to a, kind of a me-first mentality. And many people have grown comfortable with this lack of order, seeing it as a way to survive rather than, a social problem and the care for others. This acceptance, again, of chaos makes negative stereotypes even stronger on social media. So, is the criticism fair here? Of course it is, because I've experienced it myself. Scammers. I mean, reports of scams in especially tourist areas are often shared online, creating just another negative image of India. But I've experienced it myself. Even in well-known chains like Airtel or popular restaurants, where workers often try to charge me more money to keep for themselves. I always have to argue with them, to get the correct price, even though I do speak Hindi. And while the need for money drives some of this behavior, there's also just a sense of culture acceptance again. Culture acceptance of cheating. Many people have become comfortable with the idea that scamming is an acceptable way to survive in a system that lacks accountability. And just again, this creates an environment where dishonest behavior becomes normal. And I mean, increasing distrust among locals and visitors alike, just another stereotype that I've experienced myself. So again, is the criticism fair? Hell yeah. Another problem that I've experienced in India is colorism. That obsession with light or fair skin, which is also fueled even more by media and advertising. I mean, when you go to a movie, when they show the advertisements before the movie starts, it's always the lightest people that you've seen, the lightest Indians, even lighter than some Europeans. And I mean, even as awareness about colorism grows, many Indians still accept these old beauty standards. The acceptance comes from a desire to fit into societal expectations, probably also stemming from colonialism, right? And the continuations of these biases enforces a negative view from outsiders who point to them as examples of India not progressing, having these old racist or colorist standards. And Indians are so diverse, and it's just kind of sad that they prioritize the lightest people of their own country, even though the darkest people in Tamil Nadu, for example, they're still so beautiful, but you never see that in the media, unfortunately. Trying to be like the West. When I criticize India, when I show the streets of India, people always comment, they hating, they say, you always show the bad sides of India, you show the dirty sides of India. Go to Aero City. And that's where I went to Aero City, which is like a new city or a new area around Delhi, near to the airport. And when I visit modern areas, I often find that the Indian culture has been replaced by Western chains with prices even higher than in the West sometimes. I mean, this often creates the impression of cultural inferiority somehow, I mean, many people have become comfortable again with the idea that Western standards are just better and higher, leading to a crisis of identity that makes social progress even more difficult again. And this mindset stifles around true cultural expression and supports the stereotype that India is struggling to modernize authentically. Again, trying to be like the West, but at the same time criticizing West, almost like saying we can do better what the West is doing, but at the same time we're forgetting our Indian heritage and culture, which is so sad because, man, I don't know a country that has inherited such a rich and old history, a culture, and just sad again, criticism that I've seen in the comments. I don't think those are fair criticisms, honestly. So what do we make of this? It is really important to recognize this criticism, but we kind of need to think about the bigger pictures, These issues raised in online discussions, especially about hygiene or public behavior, they reveal a deeper societal problem. However, it is concerning that many people have become comfortable with the way things are, which leads to a lack of action to solve these issues. And that's what I mean by the Indian mentality. But let's not forget the positive aspects, I am here, I enjoy it here. There are so many positive aspects that often gets overlooked. India is a country full of warmth, diversity, and rich culture, heritage, and its people are known for their hospitality and strength as well. Not just negative things. And while we critique those shortcomings, we should also celebrate the progress being made and the beautiful stories that come from this complex society. And the criticism is valid, but it should be balanced with an appreciation of what India has to offer. I've been treated so well in India, apart from the scammers, but people invited me to their houses, they invited me into their culture, and let's enjoy India. But also the Indian people need to put on more pressure around them, keep the streets clean, etc. I mean, while I was filming this video, 2 people tried to throw trash into the sea, and that is the problem. And as always, if you see beauty in the chaos, the world will be yours. Take care.